Wow, ladies and gentlemen, so welcome to our Planets Through Navamsa series, and this week we're going to be covering Moon in the Ascendant of Navamsa. And what happens when Moon is sitting in the Ascendant in the first house of your D9 Navamsa chart, the most important chart in Vedic Astrology, without which you can't really make true analysis. It tells you the strength, it tells you the capacity, it tells you the karmic and spiritual path of your planets in the second half of life. And of course, there's smart astrologers who only look at the birth chart and tell you everything. Why? Because they know by the degrees exactly where the planet will be placed in 10 other divisional charts. But we're not there yet. We're not that smart. That's why we got to take baby steps. Okay? And as always, if you do not know, if you have this moon in the ascendant of the Navamsa, watch your planetary alignments in the D9 Navamsa chart. For that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, where on the second page you'll see your Navamsa chart and what the planets are doing, along with my books, reports, and consultations. Okay? So, moon in the ascendant of the Navamsa. Well, this first of all shows us that a person is strongly emotionally invested in marriage and relationships. That a person mind internally is always finding balance only through relationships and marriage. This is the person who needs to be in a relationship, who needs to be in an emotional connection and balance with another person in order for them to find happiness and joy. Why happiness and joy? Because moon is a significator of happiness and joy. So here in the ascendant of the Navamsa, a person feels comforted, a person feels happy, a person feels calm when they're in a balanced harmony in a relationship and marriage. See, there are people in marriage who deal with some very abusive spouse, or there are people in a marriage who do not have the best of relationship, yet they still manage to stay balanced mentally. They still have a good time when they go out. They'll go out and drink. They'll do something to balance that, to deal, with the situations. Here, this person, if their marriage is not balanced, if there is lack of happiness in the marriage, well, this is going to affect their mind effective immediately. Their mind, their happiness, it just goes into a million pieces when there's no connection. This is why this person longs for marriage. This is the person who is not afraid of wanting to get married early in their 19, 20, 21, 22. Sure, having moon in the ascendant of the Navamsa doesn't promise that you're going to get married early. No, you can get married late. This is why you have to see the whole impact on the Navamsa. But this person really finds great balance and pathway to the destination through the spouse and through partnership. Now, the other thing we also see with this person is that they love eating sweets. You love eating sweets, especially once you get older, after 36, or when you get married. Suddenly you will have desire to eat sweets. And emotionally, this person has to be physically active with the person. Like, this is the person who always wants to do things like physical moving, activities with the partner, while also wanting to connect mentally with them to sustain a life after marriage. So they're going to want to do things. They're going to want to go to different places, do different things. And this is just my analysis based on moon in the ascendant. We don't know. You could have Saturn, Jupiter on the ascendant with this moon. Saturn could be Sun could be looking at the moon at this point. That's going to change things. This is just a flat out bottom of what you feel at one level. It'll just go up and down based on the conjunction and aspects. This person always likes to make their home into a very motherly and very affable ambience. Like they like to have a home that reminds them of grandma. That's what they want. They want a home they come home to, and they have all the homely warmth, and all the items that they will have in their home will represent their warm and friendly, environment. And this person has a huge influence of the mother in decision of marriage. Marriage, relationships is hugely impacted by the mother somehow. Either they seek for the advice of the mother, number one. They look for somebody who reminds them of their mother, number two. Or the mother may actually become the obstacle. So a mother has some role to play in the person's married life. What role is that? Is that the antagonist role, protagonist role? Well, of course, for that we have to see the sign, aspects, conjunctions, with this moon. Then, like I said, when things do not go right, they're mentally disturbed in the marriage. And when things do not go right, they have the hardest time to have the intelligence to take care of those things in the marriage. Because this person will always feel like, I want you to come to me when things go wrong. I want you to first say sorry before I say sorry to you. I want you, to comfort me, even though it was my attitude and fault to get the fight going in the first place. As much as they strongly want to be mentally connected with you, they are so sensitive that they always want to bring everything on themselves as the victim. However, it is especially through the marriage that this person will attain name, fame, wealth. Like this person can get a great amount of wealth. They have, like this moon in the ascendant has a great ability to save money. And especially this person will not have the most balanced relationship with the in-laws. There's always going to be this emotional disconnect with the family of the spouse. It's a natural thing that occurs. But they will have a good relation. They will respect their in-laws when they come to their house. So if you have moon in the ascendant and your in-laws came, or any family member came from your spouse's side, you'll have a great time, great conversation. But when you go to them, when you go to the spouse's family's functions or house, you just can't relate. You just don't have that capacity to emotionally connect with those people. But, all in all, this is a position of a person who really just loves having a strong connection with their spouse. This is the person who always seeks the advice of the spouse. They want to make the spouse happy. But moon is a wave. You have to understand. Moon, it represents the wave. See, the moon's curse is never to be full all the time. Moon was cursed to be crescent at most of the time in the sky. Moon was cursed to wax and wane, to be there's no moon. So the same thing will be seen within the marriage and relationship. So when they're waning, you will see how they want to be the victim. When they're waxing, they're going to do whatever it takes to balance that emotional distress in their life. Even if it's their fault, they will. Even if it's your fault, They'll be the one taking the blame. So you'll see this. You're like, oh my God, who is this person that I'm married to? They wax and wane a little too much, but hey, that's life. It is. That's why they say as above, so below. The waxing and waning is going to be all over emotionally in the marriage and relationship. But also, when it comes to the intelligence of the marriage, they are very creative, especially once the child is born in the marriage. You will see, when the child is born in a marriage, they become very creative in how to deal with the emotional distress within the marriage. They get the intelligence. So don't think they don't get the intelligence. They get the intelligence, but once the child is born. Okay? Before that, they'll just be agitated with that. So anyway, guys, this was my analysis of moon in the ascendant of the Navamsha. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And if you want to know where your moon is placed, if it's in the Navamsha ascendant, where its other placements are, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, my books, consultations. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow or next week. Bye-bye.